Greetings and a warm welcome back to the channel. Thank you to all the returning subscribers. I am so delighted. I thank you for the engagements that we've had, the interactions we've had on different videos within the platform, within the channel. I am forever and so grateful. Thank you so much for your continued love and support. And to the new subscribers who will be watching this video or who will come across this video, please do consider clicking the subscription button and join this global rising family. Here we are all about, where everyone is feeling loved, welcomed, and accepted. Thank you so much to everybody for taking your sweet time and to engaging with me. Please also do consider joining this family. If you haven't and you're just watching the videos without joining the family, welcome, welcome, welcome. We will be delighted to have you all on board. Now, today I'm here just to encourage us with a word that the Lord laid in my heart. And I feel like in the times that we're living in, we should be able to understand the seasons that we're in, because we are all in different seasons. In as much as our daily lives are still continuing, we are all in different seasons, but it is in those seasons that God uh, um, um, urges us to invite him into each and every situation, into each and every circumstance that we ever find ourselves in. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to throw in the towel. This is not the time to say, I've had enough. I don't think it's going to work out right. This is the time to seek the face of the Lord even more. We're living in, very disturbing times, very distressful times, and it can feel a bit overwhelming. It can take a toll on you and I, but we should always be comforted, with the words in the book of Hebrew that the Lord is ever present with us. He is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. So that is a great comfort. That is a great encouragement, knowing that we are not going through this pain alone. We are not going through this situation alone. We are not going through this circumstance alone, because he has us in the palm of our hands. And sometimes when you're walking with the Lord, and even if you're far away from the Lord, you can actually try and trace back, footsteps, and you'll see that he has been with us every step of the way. The Bible also goes on to say that even while we're still sinners, Christ died for us. So God still thinks about you, and he's just waiting on you to come to him with all the pain in your heart, all the rejection, all the humiliation, all the shame, all the disgrace, all sorts of, things that you're going through. God is a God of acceptance. God is a God of mercy. God is a God who accepts everyone. So today I'm just here to encourage us that God is in the business of repackaging. He's in the business of rebranding and in the business of reintroducing you into your world. We're all here on an assignment, and we should not lose focus. We should not be distracted. We should just maintain and fix our eyes on Jesus, because he is the author and the finisher of our faith. So today I'm just here to encourage you with a brief story, from the Bible. And I'm going to take this story up from the book of Second Kings, and that's going to be chapter 4 and from verse number 1. And it says, one day the widow of a member of the group of prophets came to Elisha and cried out, my husband who served you is dead, and you know how he feared the Lord. But now a creditor has come, threatening to take my 2 sons as slaves. This woman was going through a painful situation. She was actually bankrupt. She was in debt. And this was a very disturbing scenario. It was not giving her peace. It was not giving her rest. She was unsettled, and she decided to take her matter to God through the prophet Elisha. You know, when we go through situations, it's not the time to run to men, because men will not have your answer. You run to God. God will have your answer. God raises men to bless men. God speaks to us through his servants that he has raised in these end times. That is the apostles, the prophets, the teachers, the pastors, the people that God has enabled you to come across them. Those are the voices that God would like to, reach out to you and reason with you in this time and in this season. So you ought to be sensitive. You ought to know the times and the seasons that you're in, we're living in, and you need to act and move swiftly. So when this woman went to the prophet and explained her situation to the prophet, let's keep on reading and find out what happened. Verse 2. What can I do to help you? This prophet asked the lady, what can I do to help you? God is asking you this afternoon or this morning or whichever time zone that you're watching me around the globe. It doesn't matter. It could be day, it could be midday, it could be afternoon, it could be evening, it could be nighttime. Whichever part of the globe that you're in, God is asking, what can I do to help you? Do you want your situation to get better? Do you want to get well from that situation? God is giving us a clarion call to come to him, with all our burdens, with all our anxieties, with all our stresses, with every little thing that is, bothering you, with that pain, with that rejection, with that situation, with that circumstance. God is calling you out and God is asking you, what can I do to help you? Elisha asked, tell me, what do you have in the house? What do you have with you in this time and in this season? What gift, what talent, what ability do you have? What resources do you have that God can use? Never despise what you have. That little that you despise, that is the very thing that God will use to catapult you into your season of abundance, into your new season. So do not despise what you have, because what you have can become valuable if handed over to God, because in the hands of God, he will be able to multiply that. I remember, when Jesus had ministered to the 5,000 people, including men, women, and children, after the ministry, the disciples came up to Jesus and they were telling Jesus to send the people away because they had sat there for too long and some of them were hungry. And you can imagine that whole crowd had even vulnerable people, including children. And Jesus said, and I think Jesus told them what is available, what is there. Then a boy, gave out what he had. He only had 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. And he presented that to God, and God increased it, multiplied it. That was a miracle. So never despise what you have. So that small meal that the boy was able to surrender was able to feed a multitude of people. So you should never despise what you have. Your giftings, your talent, your abilities, your capabilities, your resources, whatever is at your disposal is for kingdom use, is for God to use, because that is the very thing that God is going to use to bring about your redemption, to bring about your blessing. The woman replied, nothing at all except a flask of olive oil, she replied. It's even the way she said it, nothing at all, because she was actually despising what she had, except a flask of olive oil. That is all she had. But she was able to explain herself and her situation. Sometimes you can go through something and someone comes who wants to help you. A destiny helper shows up, and that destiny helper wants to help you, and the destiny helper asks you, what do you have? What can you do for us? Do you have any skill? Do you have any talent? Can you do this for us? What can you do in your ability? And you can use that to serve us. You can use that. God can use whatever you have to serve your generation. So do not despise what you have. Embrace it. Be glad about it and don't shy away from it. That could be the very blessing that would, bring about abundance in your life. Verse 3, and Elisha said, borrow as many empty jars. So Elisha was actually giving the woman an instruction. The instruction you obey determines the future you create. Instructions bring construction in your life. When you receive an instruction from the Lord, or when you receive an instruction from a servant of the Lord, obey it, because by your obedience and through your obedience, you are going to unlock your divine blessings that heaven has in store with your name on it. And that blessing will not only be for you, it will affect everybody that is connected to you. That is how God works. God is a miracle working God. He takes a small thing and turns it into a big thing. And so when Elisha told this woman, borrow as many empty jars as you can from your friends, from your neighbors, then go into your house with your sons and shut the door behind you. Pour olive oil from your flask into the jar. So use that little gift that you have and fill in the jars, setting each one aside when it is filled. My God, that is, supernatural supply. Heaven has a way of supplying all of our needs, according to the word of God, you know. So she did as she was told. Her sons kept bringing jars to her, and she filled one after another. She had abundance in her house. Soon every container was full to the brim. My God. Bring me another jar, she said to one of her sons. There aren't any more, he told her. And then the olive oil stopped flowing. When she told the man of God what had happened, he said to her, now sell the olive oil and pay your debts, and you and your sons can live on what is left over. My God, we serve a God of abundance. We serve a God who never runs out of resources. He never runs out of riches, because all riches and glory and honor and power belong to our God. All we need to do is seek his face in everything that we do, and he shall meet us at our point of need. The Bible goes on to tell us that the expectations of the righteous will not be cut short. This woman knew exactly who to go and see during her condition, during her situation. She did not did not sit about wasting time. She knew exactly what she ought to do in this time and in this season. This is now my polite request unto you. You need to be connected to people who are sensitive to your need, who know where you're going, and who you can partner with. This is a time to look for those partnerships, strategic partnerships and alliances. God has those helpers in store for you today. My prayer for you today is that God will begin to bring about this kind of helpers in your life. Strong helpers, unsolicited helpers, tireless helpers, helpers of destiny, helpers who are going to usher you into your God ordained given destiny, for you to be able to fulfill your purpose, for you to be able to fulfill your assignment, because what you have, your generation needs it. So you need to move, in obedience and act according to the word of the Lord that the Lord is going to lay in your heart concerning this time, concerning this situation. So do not lose hope. Do not despise what you have, because what you have given into the hands of God can bring you into your abundance. You should be able to know that, the God who has begun a good work in you is able to complete it and to perfect perfection. God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above and beyond what we could ask, think, or imagine, according to the power that is at work within us. Because He is a God who is extravagant. He is a God who goes above and beyond. So do not be discouraged. Do not despise what you have in your hand, because what you have in your hand can bring about miracles, signs, and wonders. So this woman obeyed the prophetic instruction. This woman, followed that instruction to the latter, to the end. And what came about was her freedom from debt. She was able to clear off all her debts. She was able to, live debt free, because she was able to obey that instruction that the Lord gave her through the prophet Elisha. God could be speaking to you in this time and in this season to move in a certain direction, to move in a certain way. This is the time to act and obey. And sometimes the things of God we can never understand. God can tell you, go left. Stop there. Somebody is going to come. And you might stand there for a while and wonder, oh, where is this person supposed to come from? You don't need to know every detail that, God gives you. All you need to know, all you need to do is put your hope and your trust in God, because the Bible says that trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your path. We see how this woman was able to change her situation. She did not sit in self-pity. She did not sit, down and start crying about her situation. She instead made up her mind and began to move in the direction. And when she took one step, God took 10 steps ahead of her. So God had already prepared a man in the name of Prophet Elisha to be able to bring about her deliverance and her freedom. And she and her children and her entire household and her entire generation were able to benefit from that grace. We need the grace of God. The grace of God is able to meet you at your point of need today. So do not despise yourself. Don't look down on yourself. Don't cry on your situation. Instead, present that very situation to God and see how He's going to turn it around for your good. The thing I love about God is that God is in the business of repackaging, rebranding, and reintroducing you into your world. And people will see that the goodness of the Lord has been, proven out of your life. You become a project of God's, grace. You become a byproduct of the goodness of God just by simply obeying that, those instructions that the Lord is going to lay in your heart in this time and in this season. So you need to be sensitive. You need to surround yourself with the right group of people. You need to also encourage yourself and pick yourself up and begin to walk. And once you begin to walk, once you begin to find your joy again, and that is when God is going to meet you at that need. And don't forget to be thankful. Be thankful for the things that God has done for you in the past. Be thankful for what God is doing now, and also be thankful for what the Lord is about to do, because God does not run out of miracles, and God is not tired of blessing you again and again and again. Continue to seek the face of God. Continue to trust God. Continue to stay in His presence, and He will continue to open doors mightier than you, that eyes have not seen and ears have not heard, neither has it entered into the hearts of men, the things that God has in store for you today. So don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. Keep moving, keep soldiering on, and keep trusting. Trust the Lord with all your heart. Well, this has been my brief message. This has been a brief word of encouragement that the Lord laid in my heart to come and share with His people on the platform, that He is not done with you yet. He is just getting started. You are next in line for your miracle. You just need to believe it, receive it, and watch what the Lord will do. Thank you so much for taking your sweet time to listen to me and to listen to this word. I hope that this word has blessed you, this word has refreshed you, this word has encouraged you, and this word has given you that ability to believe again. God is still in your business. Until I come your way again next time, take care, stay safe, God bless you. Please click on the subscription button, join the family, and share this video widely with your friends and family. Until I come your way again next time, thank you so much. God bless you.